Most of us were taught and raised to be nice and considerate of others since we were kids, and these universal values are important. But the issue that some of us have is that we can be too selfless. So if you find yourself always putting other people's needs before your own, and you're tired and losing yourself, and you want to become more selfish and focus more on yourself, then this video is for you. It is awkward for me to talk about this topic because being selfless is not something that I had to learn. It is a trait that has always been there as a seed, and it just somehow amplified inside me throughout the years. I'm not trying to tell you how good of a person I am. Contrary to what you might think, not all selfless people are proud of this trait, including myself. As I matured, I noticed being selfless has not served me well, and I will tell you why in just a minute. But the good news is, it is never too late to fix it and level up yourself. It took me a lot of hard work to find the right balance, and I'm already in a much better place today. I will be sharing exactly what happened and how I got to where I am. So stay with me because I will be giving out tips throughout this video. For many years, I was the person whom everyone would think of when they had problems. Friends, family members, or even acquaintances. People who want to have someone to listen to them, comfort them, to give them advice and cheer them on. And I was always the chosen one, the beacon of light. I would take care of everyone first, even when my world was falling apart. And I think it's almost like an instinct for selfless people to put other people's needs first because we want to, we feel like we need to, and because we can. But that doesn't mean that we should. You gotta understand that it is not sustainable to always put others' needs before your own. When people demand more than what you can give, you gotta tell them that the shop is going to close early today. If you don't draw the line, people will keep taking from you because you let them think that your time and energy are limitless. So stop being the hero because you are not God, and some people don't even appreciate or say thank you. But you might say, "Oh Belle, but I'm prioritizing the people whom I love only." You know what? If your family and friends truly love you, and if they are kind people, they wouldn't want to see you all exhausted and stressed out with no time for yourself. Because seeing you all burnt out and unhappy when you're doing too much for them, it will make them sad and make them feel guilty. If they truly love you, they will want to take better care of you, and they will want to help by stepping up and sharing that burden with you, not dumping their needs and desires on you or letting them consume you. And for those people who are not your family or loved ones, do you know what happens when you prioritize their needs and desires over your own? You run the risk of being taken for granted. They will start to feel entitled and begin to take advantage of you, sometimes without even realizing this themselves. And what makes it even harder to create boundaries is when these people are also the ones who are closest to you. But you cannot blame them, and you need to take responsibility because you are allowing this to happen. I remember in my 20s when our teams all used to work really late nights. There was this time when I saw my team member very tired, so I offered to finish her work for her so she could go home early and rest. She turned around and said, "Oh, thank you, Belle." And the next day, I found out that she actually went to the movies. There has been too many examples like this, and do you know what it is? It is human nature. Remember that human nature is to seek comfort. So once you start constantly offering your time, your energy, your kindness to help others and make them comfortable, you're actually telling these people that it is okay for them to take from you, to trample over you, and to stop respecting you. And understand that your generosity overflow, your lack of boundaries, and your self-sacrifices do not serve you. Have you thought about yourself, my friend? You also need love and attention and to be taken care of, right? And you're not supposed to be a doormat. After all these years, this realization hit me like a tsunami, and I vowed to myself that from then onwards, I must level up and become more selfish and always put myself first. So if you have people around you now who are taking you for granted, not appreciating you, and even starting to abuse your kindness and selflessness, please have the dignity to tell yourself that no one can do this to you anymore ever. It is time for you to rise up and defend your territory, and this is how you do it. The first thing that you need to understand is that if you are a selfless person, you can never be truly selfish because that is just not in your DNA. Don't worry about thinking, oh, am I transforming myself into a really bad and egoistic and opportunistic and terrible person? No, because it is very hard for genuinely selfless people to suddenly become evil. So aim big, and this means tell yourself to be truly selfish, and here is why. A very dear mentor once told me that whatever you do in life, right, always aim for first class. So if you don't get on, at least you're in business class. If you aim for economy class, you might not even get on the plane. So in this situation, on our journey from being selfless to selfish, we will aim for a seat in the first class selfish cabin. You need to understand that even if you try your absolute best, you're likely still considered pretty selfless and pretty nice by today's standards, meaning you'll end up in business class, which is not bad, eh? So don't hold back. This is a mindset change that you need to sink into your head, because if you don't genuinely want to change and set that goal and really feel it in your blood, you won't take action and you will remain a doormat forever. Now, let's find clarity about which territory you want to defend in this situation. Your territory would be your priorities. If you have been selfless pretty much your entire life, it is very hard to immediately start constructing boundaries to defend your territory. You won't even know where to put your boundaries because you might not even remember what exactly you want to claim back and protect. So start by looking inward. Reconnect with your inner self and have a clear idea of what your priorities are. I would suggest that you write down your thoughts so you can work through them. And this is especially true if you feel like you have lost yourself over the years, which was in my case. So give yourself some time. If you want a shortcut, I would highly recommend you try meditation. I only started meditating, as I have shared in this video. I noticed it has helped me significantly to tune into my inner self and find that clarity. And once you know which territories you want to reclaim and protect, that's when you are ready to build your healthy boundaries around these precious and non-negotiable priorities that you have identified. For most people, these priorities boil down to 3 big categories: health, wealth, and relationships. Go deeper and into more details, because the more you have clarity on what you want to protect, the better you can tailor-make your boundaries. So this could be protecting your basic needs, such as ensuring your 8 hours of sleep every day, or making sure that you don't work on the weekends. Or it might be the quality time with your loved ones every day between 7 to 9, because that's dinner time, or a holiday every 6 months. Start small, and as long as you can make a little progress each day, you will get there. For myself, I started with prioritizing me time because this is the easiest to do. Carve out dedicated periods in your schedule to engage in activities that bring you inner peace. It could be dedicating every morning to a 10-minute meditation, which I highly recommend as a start because it is very doable. Or it could be going on a hike or reading a good book with a glass of wine every weekend. And the most important thing, protect these sacred times by putting your phone on do not disturb mode, or just leave it in another room, or don't bring it with you if you're going for a walk. If you're living with others, tell them that these are your sacred times and ask them to respect them. Once you start taking baby steps for your me time, you should start to feel happier and more balanced in around a month. Next, step up and put up more of your boundaries by saying no to events or requests that you don't want to attend or do. If your boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse wants you to make dinner, but you're exhausted from work and just want to stare into space, just say, let's order out. If your boss asks you to take on an extra project and work through the weekend, politely decline by saying, thanks for the opportunity, but my plate is full and I'm not available on weekends. That's it. No need to explain further, and you owe your boss nothing. If you're a parent and you've got young kids, it might be harder to create boundaries when they want to play with you, which is pretty much all waking hours when they're not sleeping. Try playing the let's see who can fall asleep first game, or adopt the you nap when they nap strategy if you just want to catch up on sleep, or hire a nanny. I used to do all these, and I can guarantee you that the money is well worth it. Now, I know that it's going to feel bad in the beginning when you're just starting to say no, because selfless people are not used to it. That happened to me, and sometimes it can even feel wrong and make you feel very guilty. But my friend, remember we said that you gotta stay focused on your seat in the first-class selfish cabin. Now, as with anything in life, after you decide to make a change, the universe often likes to test your commitment. This means you will get all sorts of requests and asks, as well as toxic people who want to guilt trip you for not helping and taking care of them. For example, if you really must attend that work event with toxic people, drop by to say hello rather than staying for the entire duration of the event. For meaningless or toxic people who drain your energy and don't add to your life, archive their text messages on WhatsApp so you won't even see them there. Or mute that WhatsApp group that's pinging like 20 times a day with 50 random acquaintances. You don't need this energy to disrupt your inner peace. Remember that you are the boss and you choose what you allow into your life and you decide what you don't want in your life. Understand that this is important. This is war because it is your well-being that we're fighting for, and nothing in the world is more important than that. Because when you're happy and feel balanced, that is when your energy and positivity can overflow to take care of others. It is like what they say on the plane. Put on that oxygen mask on yourself before you help others. So don't keep depleting yourself because you are very important. You are the central power source. You got that? You've got to feel the fire inside yourself first before you can help and illuminate other people. Being selfish is actually selfless. Let me repeat. Being selfish is actually selfless. And don't ever forget that, my friend, okay? I will be rooting for you right here. I remember when I was a kid, I would always insist that my parents or grandparents give the beggars on the streets more money so they can buy food, they can buy clothes. And as I got older, a couple of boyfriends left me because they believed that I would spend all my time helping people at charities with no time for them and no time for future families.